Hello? Hello? Is this thing on? It's been a minute, like a week and a half, maybe even two. Surprise! I decided to stream. I was editing a video and I was sitting here, and then I got peer pressured into streaming. So now I'm here streaming, and you're all here. Hello? Yeah, basically, what happened was Kevin Feige decided out of nowhere to just drop like the most in-depth interview possible, where he just figured out that he was going to give us so many MCU updates that we just, it's a lot to process. And I didn't feel like I had enough to say about a video, so I just figured I would go through all the news and we could talk about it, and it would give me a break from editing, because that's all I do now. Hello everybody. Hello Colby. Hello Silly Fanta. Oh yeah, this might be a voice reveal for, wow. Hello. Hello Cranky. Hello the Diver. There's a lot to talk about. I think the big headline is that the MCU is rebooting, because that was what a lot of people were saying, but it's not. He specifically didn't want to use the word reboot. We'll get into it. Variety, I think, covered it the best. They dropped 3 different articles, so technically it's 3 different Kevin Feige interviews, but like, whatever. Marvel Studios basically had a panel with the press on Friday where they invited them all in to ask questions, and he was going to give updates. I think they said it lasted like an hour long. So yeah, when's the face reveal coming? I don't know. The loose plan was 100,000 subscribers. I don't. Oh, that speaking of, I had 20,000 subscribers this week, which is crazy. I never even talked about doing like a big subscriber celebration thing. I still never did one for 10K, but you know, we can't all be winners. We can't all be winners. I was going to do like this big 10K video. It's like all my 10 favorite superheroes, and maybe I'll just do like my 20 favorite now, but there's so many other things to talk about that talking about my favorite superheroes right now just gets lost in the mix. So hello, welcome to the impromptu stream, everybody. 20K, we did it. Insurmountable number that I never expected to hit. That's so many people. Oh, thank you everybody in the chat. You're all too kind. You're far too kind. I also have a new setup I'm on right now, so I'm not just on my laptop. I got 2 monitors now, so I can actually look at my computer and see the stream and how the stream is working and the chat at the same time. I don't have to use my phone anymore, which is so helpful. But yeah. Thoughts on the Fantastic Four reviews? I think it's looking quite phenomenal, honestly. I think there's a lot of really great things I'm hearing. It seems like the only issues might be some CGI stuff, which I can look past as long as the rest of the movie is good. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. I'm seeing it on Thursday at 2:00 p.m. I took off of work for this. It's that serious to me. So yeah, don't. And there's Fantastic Four spoilers out. If any of you put it in the chat, I'll kill myself on stream. So those are the stakes for tonight, I guess. Thank you everybody for the congratulations. But yes, it's nice to see all the positive reviews for Fantastic Four. Really happy to see that. It gives me a lot of faith for the future of Marvel's first family, and I could always use more of that. Gotta make sure I plug the stream. Hold on, if you hear my loud keyboard, my bad. I don't know how to like suppress this microphone, so it's just blasting at full volume. But what can you do? What can you do? Like like some CGI stuff can be really jarring, but other times I can look past it unless it's like glaringly ruining a scene. But I don't know. It's babies apparently. I don't know. Been too scared to even look at reviews, but man, I'm glad they're positive. If we get like Superman and Fantastic Four, the two characters that basically built Marvel and DC, with peak movies, I might just die of happiness. Yeah, so part of that interview is to explain that MCU has a 7-year plan right now, which is very interesting. I'm interested to see how many things fall apart from that. I feel like it never goes to plan, but we'll see. We shall see. I'm trying to pull up the articles on my computer so I can like go through them all. Variety, Kevin Feige tab. Sweet. Isn't that just neat? That's true. The Reed CGI, it's always going to look uncanny. So, like, I'm expecting... No, that's not something that looks normal. You know what I mean? Like, you can imagine what a gigantic person made of rocks looks like. But stretching, for some reason, it goes into the uncanny valley immediately, just like that. So, I feel like it's just inevitable to be a little bit messy. As a Moon Knight fan, I fear for his future. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Yeah. Feige sure did mention him. He just didn't exactly want to talk about him, so that's fun. We're talking about the articles. Let's just jump into everything already. Let me... do you want to see the article on screen, or do you want me to just read... It's probably better if you see the article on screen, right? Yeah. I should probably pull it up instead of just trying to, like, not pull it up, which is the alternative. Okay. Please work. I had to rebuild all my stream overlays from scratch, so I'm really hoping this works. Where are we going? Hello. There we go. Look at this. Chat's a little delayed, but it'll catch up eventually. Basically, well, okay. Don't tell me what. I don't care about using GeForce Experience. I'm on Variety. We're on the internet. I'm not gaming. Oh, the chat always takes like an hour to catch up. There we go. Okay, now we're all caught up. So now we can scroll through the article all together because Greg can't read, so I have to read it out for him. But yeah, there's 3 different articles we'll go through. There's one that talks about like Blade a lot, one that talks about the future of the MCU, recasting, stuff like that, and this one that talks about the X-Men and the reboots. That's what we'll end on because that is the big one. Okay, so yes, Kevin Feige explains Blade delays. We didn't want to simply put a leather outfit on Mahershala Ali and have him start killing vampires, which I think very fair. A lot of people want the movie to just be... Well, there's so many different takes I see where people are like, oh, why isn't the movie just Blade killing vampires? And it's like, We had three of those, man. Most of them sucked. Like, I don't care about most of the Blade movies. I've seen them. They're just like, I don't know, man. It's so dull. I don't know why there's XP also in the chat. I don't know how this works, but we'll ball. I see people asking like, why does my name say number 1 next to it? I don't know. That's new to me. But yeah, let's just jump into this because we got a lot of interesting things here. Like, Mahershala Ali still attached to the Blade. Good. The only reason this movie is happening is because he wants it to happen, and I think in the nicest way possible, he probably is holding Blade to a higher standard than Marvel would, where the Marvel method is that they start with a full script and then tweak things along the way, and Mahershala probably wants like a perfect script ahead of time. But, you know, it's not a bad idea to have your movie ready ahead of time. Yeah, Blade 3 is terrible. It's so terrible. Listen, I think Wesley Snipes is good as Blade. Not a good person, but that's another story. He's good as Blade, and it's just a lot of aura and hype moments. I think... Hold on, let me pull up my letterbox. Oh, God. Listen, if you like the Blade movies, I'm happy for you. I wish I could have. I didn't grow up with them. I watched them for the first time a few years ago. I gave Blade 1998 3 stars. I gave Blade 2 3.5 stars, and I gave Blade Trinity 1.5 stars. Those are my thoughts on the Blade movies. Okay, listen, you're watching Young Sheldon? I don't even want you here if you're watching Young Sheldon. The Nando pitch was really good. Nando knows what he's up about. Yeah, like, the original idea of period piece Blade is genuinely really interesting. It's just the matter of, like, Sinners has done that already, so they already switched the ideas a few times since then, so it's not like I'm too bummed we're going to be missing out on that. As cool as period place bit... Why did I decide to do this career? Listen, if you join the Discord, I've plugged the letterbox in there a few times. If you look up Mahershala Ali, there's some stuff about him. It's not good. Do you think Mephisto should be in Blade? I think Mephisto should be in Midnight Suns. I think you do like Dracula or Lilith in a Blade movie. I feel like Lilith is a good start. Dracula could be like another foundation to build off of. People are really shallow about Blade. Yeah, like, that's the thing. Every single time I see a Blade hot take on Twitter, it's like, oh, it's a movie about a guy killing vampires. How hard could it be? Again, we had 3 of those movies. One of them is good. You know what I mean? Like, people, I promise you, let them put some more than just... Let them do a Blade movie with nuance and less surface level than that. Especially because the Blade movies completely redid his character from the comics. So, like... There's so much history you can build off of him that was never even touched on because he looked so goofy before. Do I think the MCU will feel streamlined post Secret Wars, or will there be too many characters to follow, like Avengers, Fantastic Four, X-Men? I think what we're going to see going into the future for the MCU is that it's a lot more movies are for team-ups, shows are for solo stories, because it seems like nobody has much interest in solo MCU films nowadays, and I feel like the team-ups they're going to lean on the team-ups a bit, besides like Spider-Man, but that's already going to be a team-up film. So we'll probably see like Avengers movies. Let me rephrase. I think that is because the next saga is the Mutant Saga. So I think the X-Men and the Fantastic Four are going to get a big focus while the Avengers go on the back burner. So we'll probably get like an Avengers movie, an X-Men movie, and a Fantastic Four movie. And then there'll be like a Wolverine movie, a Spider-Man movie, and stuff to fill in the gaps. While on the small stage, you should have like a mutants show to introduce a bunch of mutants. It's hard to say because they're constantly shifting. And if you had asked me this question a year ago, I would have said that I think the MCU is going to be much more streamlined and blah, blah, blah. But like, it seems like the focus is leaning more towards team-ups. But I'm interested to see how they change post Secret Wars. Hop off young Sheldon. Listen, from the clips I've seen on my Instagram Reels and TikTok, George is beast, but that's all I have to say. Does rebooting the MCU make all the previous movies feel pointless? We'll get to that when I get to the reboot, but I'm going to say no, because a movie can stand alone outside of its interconnectivity. And yeah, that's the whole thing about the reboot. It's not going to affect the broad scheme of things. It's just been a misquote. Blade 1 is fine. Blade 2 is good. Blade 3 we don't talk about. And yeah, It's Just a Blank is the worst attitude ever. It's so frustrating because so many people are like, it's just this. How hard can it be? But like, come on, man. We want more than just surface level nonsense in our movies. I would much rather prefer if we can actually get some depth to the characters and we can like dive into these things. I don't know. It should be called the Mutant Saga. It's just a fan thing right now because it seems like that's the way they're going. As much as I love the Avengers, I almost feel like they take a backseat for a while. Yeah, I think that what should happen is the Avengers will just... It'll definitely take a backseat. I think that we'll probably get one Avengers movie, one, as I was saying, one Avengers movie, one X-Men movie, one Fantastic Four movie, and then down the line we probably get an Avengers versus X-Men big event film as they do like Fantastic Four stuff on their own and keep them isolated a little bit. I think animated shows will still continue as planned, though. Thoughts on Moon Knight? I think that's... Hold on. Is that in this article? I'm on the wrong tab. Oh, no. Moon... No, that's not an article. Okay, well, I think the Moon Knight... I think Moon Knight will be back, just in Midnight Suns before any Moon Knight Season 2 stuff. Am I worried for Avengers Doomsday? I became worried for Avengers Doomsday the moment that they announced Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom. I'm not expecting high things from that movie, but I going into with that mindset, I hope they can like blow me away, but I'm not the most excited for it outside of like seeing the Avengers back together, if that makes sense. Yeah, Michael Waldron isn't great. Michael Waldron is not a great sign for the writing room. I think he's always been attached to it, though. So I don't know if that's better or worse that he's not rewriting a whole movie, but it's not great. And yeah, that we need to see more shows with long-running seasons. It can't just be 6-episode events that then we never see the characters again. I don't want them to recast Captain America and Iron Man. Yeah, the thing about the RDJ Doom thing is if they had just used him as the superior Iron Man, I would be 100% on board with this. Even with the desperation of it all, because it's the multiverse saga, it's an interesting new twist. I already see a narrative with him coming from a different universe to take his place, and there's a really interesting story right there to explore, especially in a world where they made Armor Wars on time and Rhodey lost his friend and we saw him deal with the implications of that. Seeing Spider-Man see his mentor again after becoming his own hero. There's so many interesting things to play around with because he has the Tony Stark history, but having him be Doctor Doom and not have any of that history, it feels cheap to me because you're just bringing him back for the sake of it rather than like I don't see the pitch here. And until I can find a reason why they did it, that isn't just we need money. If you brought him back as superior Iron Man and you did an evil Avengers versus good Avengers Saturday morning cartoon type show, I would be here for it. Do I think Ghost Rider would get a movie or a show? I think definitely a show. Definitely, I think it's more likely for... Honestly, I think special presentation is most likely. A Marvel DC crossover has never been more possible than right now, especially with them working together in the comics. Kang is definitely not as big of a threat as Thanos also, but he's very different from Thanos. The issue with Kang, what makes Kang so intimidating is that he always comes back. He's like William Afton. You kill a Kang, it doesn't matter because there are infinite versions of him, and that's where the stress and the tension comes from. That's why I don't care when Ant-Man beats a version of Kang, because That's just Kang v1. There's going to be a Kang from another universe who's even deadlier that's going to come down the line. Or you can set up an arc where that Kang wants revenge and stuff like that. And I think that is a really interesting pitch that they didn't do a great job of exploring in the Ant-Man movie outside of like a very minor implication at the end of the film where he's paranoid. I think if they had leaned more into the infiniteness, to make up a word, of Kang, that would be where we'd see the character thrive. But I don't know. I think that you could have done something really interesting with Kang, and it's a shame that they pivoted to Doom so late in the game, because Kang Dynasty, I feel like would have sold, and the Doom thing again, there's some desperation behind it. Yeah, good Fantastic Four movie. The Doom streak still continues. Yeah, the Jake Lockley cliffhanger makes me sad. I just want to see him be adapted properly and set the record straight that he's not an evil alter. I would love to see Black Knight in the Blade movie, but I feel like with the direction it's going now, they want to steer away from MCU connections, so I don't know. That's the thing, yeah. The general audience does not know what Kang is like. So they see Kang and they just think, oh, Kang's done now. Because they didn't do a good job of showing that there are infinite ones. The post-credit scene doesn't make any sense because it's like, okay, that's just a Kang Coliseum. Why should I care about this? You need to show them being terrifying and show the stakes of that, which is why Kang probably should have secretly won at the end of Quantumania. I think that it's a little bit redundant of how Ant-Man and the Wasp ends, but I think Kang should have won at the end of Quantumania by having them reveal that Kang trapped Ant-Man in a pocket universe where he thought he won, and that left Kang free to go do what he wanted. I feel like that would have been not a pocket universe. He just like put him in a different universe while Kang went to the sacred timeline. That's how I think Quantumania should have won, to go on like a sidetrack. But yeah. Hello, James Popcorn. You didn't miss much. I've read one sentence of this article, and there are 3 to go through. I doom you 3,000. Okay. Yeah, I feel like at most we see Black Knight in like a special presentation. It definitely is sad because they tied him to the Eternals, then they took the Eternals out back and shot them, which sucks. My local comic shop has a poster for Midnight Sun recommending. To be fair, there's not many good Midnight Suns runs. It's very shallow. That's why my favorite is like Damnation. Don't apologize for being late. I did this unannounced out of nowhere, and for some reason there's 84 people watching right now. Yeah. Like Jake Lockley, just because he kills a guy, people like to think he's this evil alter, but it's very clearly he's just the protector of the system. Eternals didn't bomb, it just didn't hit the numbers it... Like, if a Marvel movie hit Eternals numbers nowadays... Hold on, I have a computer in front of me. What am I doing? Eternals box office. Oh, wow. Okay, maybe Eternals did bomb. I thought it hit, like, 470 billion. But no, Eternals did much lower than it should have. Because it's a good movie, and I will stand by that. The Moon Knight system. Hold on. Do I think they will recast the Fantastic Four? No shot. No way, especially with how great their chemistry is. You were hoping I was going to do a live, Charlie. Well, thank you. And now I'm here. And now you're stuck with me. Oh, thank you. Thank you for complimenting my Captain America Google wallpaper. As you can see, I live the bit. Oh, we are a cult. Okay, that's cool. Okay. I need to start reading more of this article. When I started streaming tonight, I'm like, oh, I'll just do a quick hour-long stream, just talk my thoughts on this, and then end it so I can go back to editing my video. I can go take a walk. I want to take a walk tonight. It's really nice out. I want to walk to the beach. Clear my head for the big week next week. Okay, here we go. Okay, that's just the joke about the costumes because they gave them for Sinners, which is honestly pretty based of them. It's genuinely cool that... Oh, thank you for watching the Fantastic Four video. Do they recast Spider-Man? No. They just move on to Miles. I'm not going to thank you for being here. I was very worried you wouldn't be here. Sinkfield Hoops. Yes, Jake Schreier has been confirmed for X-Men. That's very good. I think he's an extremely great choice for like the X-Men. He knows how to do a team dynamic. He knows how to make characters really depressed, which is what you want for the X-Men. So, like, I'm happy about it. Honestly, like, I feel like you couldn't get much better of a choice to direct the X-Men. Maybe, like, a person of color would have been cool, but, like, team-wise, Jake Schreier, he knows ball. They're not allowed to use Miles, yes, but they not until Beyond the Spider-Verse ends, and that ends next year. So, like, it's not as long as a wait as we think it would be. Like an X-Men, oh my god, an X-Men movie, the quality of Thunderbolts is gonna fix me. Do I think Eternals should have been a show? I am an Eternals defender, so I like that movie. I do think anything's gonna be better the more you expand on it, and I will agree that probably the biggest thing holding Eternals back is that some of the characters aren't as developed as they could be. I think they all have individual personalities, but it's a matter of fact that like the deviants aren't very developed because there's the villain switch that happens in the movie. Marvel should never reboot is my take, which we'll get to. I'm trying to maybe I should start out with that. Maybe I should start out with that because that's what everybody wants to talk about. What am I doing? Hold on, let me pull that up right now. I'm watching Superman again this week, as you should. Oh, we haven't even talked about. I could do a whole stream talking about Superman. I've seen it 3 times in theaters. I love it. It's 2027. Okay, still, Spider-Man 5 is next year. Beyond the Spider-Verse is 2027. So like, it's not that big of a deal because like you see how short the gap is. They could do Miles and Spider-Man 5 if they wanted to. No, it's not your bad. It's okay. I've playing this poorly. Okay. Where is it? Here we go. Let's go to the big reboot question because I put that in the thumbnail and I should have realized what I'm doing, but I didn't plan this stream. So, this is the big news coming out of everything. A lot of headlines have picked this up and have ran with it saying that the MCU is going to reboot. The MCU is going to... Like, after Secret Wars, the MCU is going to do a full reboot. There's going to be a streamlined timeline, and it's like, you're almost there? It's just a matter of... Let's dive into this. So, he did not use the word reboot. The article specifically makes note of this. The Deadline article does not, that everybody's quoting it on, where they just said, like, a reboot was happening. Do I think New Avengers is their permanent name? No, I don't. I think they're going to go back, and they're going to go be one big Avengers team and then West Coast Avengers. Thoughts on Feige saying he's okay with filming Marvel movies? Feige, I think he said they always have a finished script, but they're never happy with the script, and they always keep changing it on the fly, which is, I mean, they shot Iron Man without a script. They shot Infinity War with partial script. Like, they have a script, but it's not like the final draft, if that makes sense. And listen, I'd prefer if they had a final script. That's always how you should shoot movies, but if it works, man. But yeah, reboot is a scary word. Reboot can mean a lot of things to a lot of people. He then reframes it as a reset. It's a singular timeline where the X-Men will happen there. So basically, they're resetting things. It's going to be one universe. The way I've interpreted this is the way I think a lot of people have for years, that it's going to go from this big multiverse where they're exploring so many different stories to now condensing everything. So you have like the Arrowverse Crisis on Infinite Earths event, when they bring everything together and you got Supergirl on the same Earth as the Flash now, instead of them being on different Earths. Now you're going to bring the Fantastic Four over to the mainline MCU. So basically, it's a reset point for the MCU, a new jumping on point, like a relaunch in the comics. Like how the Secret Wars event in the comics didn't reboot the comics. It's not like they started over after Secret Wars. They just condensed everything down. So that's what they're going to be doing here by bringing the Fantastic Four over, saying that the X-Men have been here the whole time, if that makes any sense. Yeah, a refresh, exactly. James Gunn won't greenlight a movie without a script is almost true, but he also, like, he greenlit a movie like The Batman Part 2 because it's Batman, and you're going to greenlight Batman. But it's not a strict rule even over at DC, and that's okay. Like, if the movies work, it works. I strongly dislike the next Spider-Man movie. No. I need street level for Spider-Man Forever. Yes, Colby, thank you. I didn't get to that part of the article yet, but they're not very stuck on a script. Marvel is very... I think I saw a take. There was some quote from somebody a while ago that said Marvel is very actor-friendly. And, like, they're not writer-friendly, but they're actor-friendly. So, like, they have a very specific vision they want for their writing, but they will let actors try things out. They will let them do things on set. They know the characters better than anyone. It's like when Tom Hiddleston, shooting Loki Season 2, he came up with the "For You, For All of Us" line as a callback to Thor 1. And it's a beautiful moment like that. And that is a great way to evolve the script by making it a collaborative effort between the actors. And I think that is great. Like, that's how you should be doing things. It's just worded very poorly because he says that they never go in with a finished script despite having a script when they start. It's contradictory the way he phrased it. Spider-Man should be the face of the street level Marvel 100%. Spider-Man and Daredevil should be like tag team in the streets. I'm going to stop talking. Yes, we're going to keep Pedro Pascal as Mr. Fantastic going forward, which I think is... I nearly just said fantastic unconsciously. I wish I could, like, scroll up on the chat. I have to keep pulling up on my phone after all that talk. Because yeah, it's Sony's evil. Making sure I didn't miss anything. Do you think Deadpool and Wolverine will be in Doomsday? I think they'll probably be saved for Secret Wars just because it's a little stuffed right now. And you don't need Deadpool and Wolverine in there. Just have them survive the whole big battle world condensing? It's not condensation. Just the condensing of the multiverse. Spider-Man and Daredevil should tag team the streets, I said. He does have less than 2 years on his contract at Marvel, Kevin Feige. That is genuinely true, and I don't see him leaving anytime soon because I don't think it's a thankless job, and I don't think anyone's gonna want it. But it's crazy. I think he'll be around for the long run. I think it's for the better because the MCU only for one phase has had Feige in complete creative control. Phases 1 and 2, he was dealing with Ike Perlmutter, the CEO of racism. And then Phase 3, he had the reins off. He got to do it what he wanted without Disney forcing any mandates. And Phase 3 is widely considered to be the best one. And then Phase 4, they tell him he's got to start pumping stuff out. So you see what happens. So I think that an MCU with Feige at the helm without any mandates like Phase 3 could be something special. It's just a matter of letting him actually cook and not feeling the pressure of studio mandates, which I am really hopeful actually happens. Like, you can say what you about Feige. He's far from perfect. He makes a lot of bizarre decisions. But he is a true fan of the comics, which I appreciate. And when he's not burnt out and overworked, he knows what he's doing. He's the best producer in Hollywood for a reason. In this article, one of these articles, he's even asked about, like, oh, what do you think about people saying that the MCU has gone woke? And he takes a stand against it. Like, no film executive has the spine or backbone to stand up to grifters, and yet he still does. So I could never hate that guy and his silly hats, because he's genuinely willing to take a stand on stuff and explain that Marvel is just the world outside your window, which I'm sure we'll get to whenever I find it, whatever article it's in. But, like, you know what? I've made my point. I think. I don't know. Yeah, like Spider-Man Street Level, great. When I think Blade will come out, I honestly think Blade could be a 2027 release at this point, because it's the furthest along out of any Marvel movie. What is the interview about? Kevin Feige hosted a bunch of journalists and basically gave them a ton of different a ton of different updates on the MCU. James Gunn and Feige are making similar statements. Yeah, it's there. I think I can't remember what Gunn said, but he definitely did take a stand against it too, which is not unexpected from him at all. He's very outspoken, and I appreciate it a lot. Do not even speak a Dwayne Johnson Phase 6 into the universe, or I might have a panic attack. Please, no. Hollywood needs to stop relying. The box office in China has, like, post-pandemic is completely different from what it was pre-pandemic, and you can see Marvel and other companies stop relying it on a lot. Like, they completely changed the Taskmaster design so that, because you can't use a skull in China, so they completely changed the Taskmaster design in Black Widow because they wanted to appeal to that market. And nowadays, Marvel movies are barely doing anything in China, so you see them start to kind of use the things they want to now, which is, it's good. Did you guys see James Gunn take shots at The Rock in an interview recently where he was asked about him? He basically said, like, people were trying to hijack the DCU and Warner Brothers wasn't having it. Because that was funny. Do you think Blade being set in the present? I think that in a perfect world, we would have had a Blade period piece in, like, 2022. And then the Blade movie we're getting now would have been the sequel to that in the modern day. But it is what it is. I'm fine with it as long as the movie's good at this point. Thunderbolts or Superman? Which movie is better? I liked Superman better. I gave them both 4.5 stars. I think, I don't even know how to explain this. I think Thunderbolts is so good, but, like, Superman blew me away and made me feel a way no other movie has ever made me feel. Ghost Rider, is that Ghost? Oh, Sliggins, I need to correct you. I need to do my action. I literally put my finger up when I said I need to correct you. The Black Panther poster was not real. That was a theater exclusive poster. You, like, if you want a vampire period piece, just go watch Sinners. It's a masterpiece. Armor Wars went. We're never getting Armor Wars. No, we probably will. I think we probably will, but they're retooling it to make it more of an event film. Superman made me cry 3 different times. All 3 times I watched it. That's the real. Okay. Any other questions on the reboot before I move on to the different topics? Just because I think the reboot is the biggest thing we're talking about here, and I feel like I've barely even talked about it. But MCU rebooting, it's okay. It's a very common misconception online. I don't blame anyone for believing it. I believed it for a bit. But basically, I think that reboot, I didn't even talk about, I don't know why I said any other questions. I barely talked about this. I think it's a bad idea to reboot the MCU, especially after just spending 6 years building up these new characters, and obviously I'm biased because Sam Wilson, Captain America, is my guy. You all know this, and I don't want to see him ripped away from us. But even someone like Moon Knight, Kate Bishop, all these new characters who have been introduced, and just to reset to the status quo would be a complete mistake. Yeah, Superman is the biggest comic book movie of all time because it feels like it's from a comic book. 100%. Oh, that's true. Armor Wars should be the vague thing he was talking about. Oh, yeah, it's right here. Hold on. Oh, is it? No, that's a different thing. Okay, whatever. Basically, I don't want them to reboot. It doesn't devalue what came before. It devalues what could be. Like, Sam Wilson should still get a Captain America trilogy. We just started with that. Shuri just became the Black Panther. I'd like to see her get another outing. There are so many different, like, I'm looking over at my Funko shelf for inspiration here, but like, we just got this beautiful story with Loki that ended his arc, and it'd be so weird if we just rebooted the MCU and now Loki's back to normal again. You know what I mean? And I don't want to. Yeah, like you handled RDJ and Evans as best as you could, so why even try? Like, the MCU has a unique opportunity to be definitive. The comics are going to go on forever. Nothing ever lasts in the comics. People are going to die. They're never going to stay dead. People are going to pass down mantles just to return a year down the line. So the MCU has this unique opportunity as a film medium that is on a timeline. As in, like, these actors are going to age. They're not going to stay the same way they are forever. They have a due date, or like, maybe not a due date, but like there's a deadline for how long you can use these characters. And I think that's really interesting to have a version of the MCU where the characters are one and done. Once you get to a certain point, there's nothing else you can do. And I think that is really interesting. Do I think Thunderbolts would appear in the post? Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot more of the Thunderbolts. So, like, I don't think the reboot's happening because Feige didn't even want to use that word. But that's why I'm so against the reboot, because it's not, there's no point. Like, the MCU will never be the comics. Don't try and make it like the comics. Embrace the absurdity of the comics and storytelling and these characters and do them justice, but it's a different medium altogether. Stop trying to, don't try and turn it into this long-running saga that goes on and will outlive us all. The MCU should eventually end. The MCU should eventually have a definitive stopping point when they run out of stories to tell, but they never will. But, like, you could conceivably end the MCU, and that's okay. Disney does not want that. They want to be able to use Iron Man. They want to print money with that. That's the issue. But, like, exactly what Colby just said, make other characters popular. Take someone obscure from the comics and give them their own movie and then let them do their own thing. We don't need to rely on Ironheart is a great example of that. I think the Ironheart show is great. I think that she is a great legacy character, and I would love to see more of her. Do more with Ironheart. Don't just bring Tony Stark back. You can bring Tony, if you really want Tony Stark back, give RDJ $1 bajillion and have him be the AI, because there are things in the comics that bring these characters back that don't cheapen anything. And I think it could be interesting if they do something like that. That's how you bring these characters back in a context that works. Don't just reboot Captain America and do Steve Rogers again. And yes, deadline is 100%. I'm not looking at the chat right now. Sorry, I'm just like staring blank into the distance and ranting. But I'll look more at the chat. I promise. Deadline is 100% at fault here because they did not explain the context that Feige specifically specified, which is not a phrase anyone should ever say. Yes, please just make Ava Starr. That's the big lesson here. Make Ava Starr popular again. Oh, Big Wheel could be the move. I just hope they don't ruin Iron Man. Like, yeah, why would you even... So many people love to praise the Iron Man and Captain America ending. That's something you can only get in the comics. Why would you bring Captain America back? You're going to bring him and Hydra back and just run that back? When you could be using Sam Wilson and having him face his own issues and let us see that. The self-described nerd, you've missed a lot. It's mostly just me ranting about how people misinterpreted the reboot quote and then talking about why the MCU reboot is bad. Yeah, post-COVID hurt everybody. Like, even not just on an audience taste level, but like even financially, people are struggling. And people are going to the theaters less, so you have to incentivize them to come back with characters they already know. So you have to bring them established characters and sequels and nostalgia. They're not going to come to the theater to go see some... Like, if you released a movie like Iron Man today, I don't think it would be a success. I think it would do good. It would not do as good as they did before. That's why we got a little bit Marvel TV series in the Disney Plus. The Disney Plus is something I don't think Marvel has been able to perfect the use of yet. I think that there have been periods where they understand it. Like WandaVision is a great example. Loki's a great example. But something like Secret Invasion is obviously a bad example. I think that they're still trying to find the balance of shows and movies, and also... The worst thing about Disney Plus is that it trained audiences to stop going to the theater. People aren't going to the movies anymore because they can just wait a month and it's on Disney Plus. So, like, Thunderbolts isn't going to do Thunderbolts won't be as successful as Ant-Man and the Wasp, despite being a better movie, because that's not Ant-Man and the Wasp shade. You know I'm a Ghost fan, but it's an example because Ant-Man and the Wasp was very successful. But Ant-Man and the Wasp came between Avengers films, and you have to watch it in a theater. So Disney Plus has completely broken the audience brain. I'm gonna start reading the chat now because it's been like 10 minutes and I've just been ranting. And there's 100 people. Jesus Christ, why are there 100 people here? I'm just gonna really quickly scroll through the chat. Let's see. Howard, I don't think audiences are ready for a Howard the Duck film, but like I'd be here for it. Special presentation is the exact way they should go. What do you think the future Fantastic Four sequels would look like post Secret Wars? I think Fantastic Four 2 focuses on Annihilus and the Negative Zone. So I didn't think superhero fatigue was the thing up until Thunderbolts. I thought if you make a good movie, people will go to see it, but now I'm starting to think it's an actual thing. I don't know. Disney Plus, yeah, it's not great. I know. Yeah, that's the thing. You have to, if you're going to reboot, you have to... I still don't want them to reboot, but doing this like half in, half out reboot is not a good idea. So, like you can't just reboot some characters and keep others going. You have to do a full reboot, and it doesn't seem like they're doing that, which is another reason why the reboot wouldn't work. I think bad movie fatigue is also a thing, but again, Thunderbolts didn't do well, which disproved my entire theory. It seemed Ultimate Fusion. It seems like Marvel is leaning more towards that idea where they're trying to have it less connected, but also they've always explained it within the movie. Like Thunderbolts explains everything you need to know in the movie itself. They tell you who Ghost is. They tell you who Walker is. It all done in a natural way that keys audiences into what they're watching. So, like that idea that you have to understand a project, Marvel's also doing, in my opinion, but also like DC's still doing the Marvel method. In like the Justice Gang are going to be in Peacemaker. It's the Pocket Universe is going to play a big role in Peacemaker. It's a direct follow-up to Superman, so it's still connected, and I want that. Yeah, that's the biggest reason why streaming is the biggest reason as to why the theatrical experience is so different now. Everything's on streaming, so nobody wants to go to the theater unless it's a big event film like a Barbenheimer or like Sinners was the little engine that could, because word of mouth was so strong that you had to see it in a theater. A question TV series would be so good. Yeah, like all of my friends barely go to the theater unless I'm dragging them there, which is another interesting thing in that like people just don't go to the theater. It's expensive and people don't want that expense for a movie they don't know if they're going to like, whereas when it's at home they could just pop it on streaming and see if they don't like it, they can just turn it off and go watch something they know they like. I think that they're going to replace Shalabal with Norin for sure. Supernatural stuff, yeah, I want to see more Supernatural MCU. Gwenpool movie. Here we go with the Gwenpool. Gwenpool atomic bomb. Hold on. Marvel giving up on Spider. No, they're definitely doubling down on live action Spider-Man. I think we're still going to get a Young Avengers. There was a rumor a little bit ago that they already have a writer on it, so I think we're still getting a Young Avengers. Whole Shebang movie would be terrible. Just be me stumbling over my words for 2 hours, which is basically what you're doing, what you're watching now. I definitely think Marvel is more focused on quality than box office numbers right now. It seems like they're trying to reestablish a trust with the audience by putting out consistently good movies so they can afford a loss like with Thunderbolts because it's Disney. They have infinite money. I'm so glad you convinced your coworkers to see Fantastic Four, the self-described nerd. That's beast. Yeah, DCU is a lot like Star Wars, and I really appreciate that kind of approach. Superman is going to break some records. I think it's going to land comfortably around 600 million. Yeah, streaming ruined the whole box office thing. It's sad. You guys talk so much. I appreciate it. I'm home. I'm trying my best to get caught up. Who would I want on Young Avengers? Oh, I made a video. You should go watch it. I love that video so much. It seems like video game adaptations is the next big wave, yeah. Listen, I love a theater experience, but yeah, people are lazy. They just don't want to go watch. Who do you think is going to be John Cena's final opponent? Great question. I wanted it to be Chad Gable, but he's injured, so I don't know. I genuinely don't have a plan. I really want to get A-list, but I don't have enough time to commit to that. Hold on, I need to... I have to... The chat is way too big on the stream, so I'm only getting I can only see 3 messages at a time. I'm trying to... Alright, I can't edit that now during the stream. My bad. Ignore me. Am I excited for Spider-Man Noir? I'm interested in it. I wouldn't say excited because Sony's track record, but it looks better than anything else they've made in live action in the last decade. You watch all my videos? I'm sorry and thank you. At least you can probably see in real time how much better they get. The audio quality. Only see... Listen, I if I ever get to take this thing full time, I'll get A-list because I just don't have the time for that many. I work 2 jobs, you know what I mean? Yeah. Maybe I do need to lock in because I've read like barely anything of an article and it's almost midnight. Bad video. I mean, Minecraft's bad, but like it made $1 billion, so they're gonna learn the wrong lessons and just double down and do more like that. Okay, anything else I want to say in this article? Um, I do like this line here. This gives me more faith about the future of the MCU, that Secret Wars is about beginnings. They're not trying to end the saga or anything. They're just trying to continue it as a jumping off point for the next decade of storytelling, which is great. Do I sure act like one? The thing is, I've never been tested. Maybe. Spider-Man and Doomsday? Genuinely don't know. Not a clue in the world, because he's so street level right now that I can't tell how he's supposed to fit into this overarching narrative. Anything else? X-Men are going to be younger. Great, just do the first class from the comics, those original 5. Scott, Jean, Iceman, Beast, Angel. Boom, I'm so glad I remember that. Just do that. Start that small. Do a Wolverine movie. Don't say Minecraft movie is the best film ever. I will respect you even less than I already do. I think that they'll do a Spider-Man 5. This is what I think. I think Spider-Man 5 will be a Fantastic Four crossover. That's all I will say. I have a whole pitch lined up that I don't want to say too much about because I need to get the views. I think they shouldn't have Spider-Man and Doomsday, though. They should 100% save him for Secret Wars. But I don't know, because there have been rumors that they're working around Holland's schedule. Let's see. I'm very much so excited for Wonder Man. I love the idea of a Hollywood satire set in the MCU. Yet Minecraft, when popular children's movies always do good. People want that's the big audience. Parents who just can drag their kids there. Here's the reboot stuff. I've talked a little bit about that already. I don't want them to reboot or recast these characters and actors. Just let them rest. Okay, there we go. We made it through one article. Now we're back at the Blade article. Let me see if there's anything else in the Blade article that I want to talk about. I do not want Hugh Jackman back as Wolverine. I want Matt Wood. That is my Wolverine fan cast. Look up Matt Wood and watch Saturday Night, and you will see the vision, I promise you. If you liked the Minecraft movie, I am 100% happy for you. Like, genuinely, so happy for you. I had a fun time watching it in the theater, I'll say that. Here's where Feige was talking about the burnout and the mandate, which is genuinely interesting to see because he's never spoken about this at all. And just hearing like him specifically say there's a mandate to make more. That's crazy because for so long it seemed like he was just happy to be making all these projects. So I appreciate that he's able to be more honest now. Don't put me in a Marvel movie unless it's me being decapitated. Only put me in a Marvel movie if I'm getting beat up by Kate Bishop. Anyways. Yeah, here's the Blade stuff I was talking about before where you just don't want him to be a guy who kills vampires. Yeah, I think I will agree with Colby here that I think on the most of the time you want an unknown actor to play a superhero. Star Slime, I only hate you. Yeah, I'm doubling down on it. But I do like more unknown castings because one, more names in the industry is always a good thing. Look what happened with Aman Vellani. But two, popular actors are always going to have a specific look to them where you see them and you think, oh, that's Tom Cruise. Like if Tom Cruise ever played Hal Jordan, I'd never be able to look at him and not think, oh, that's Hal Jordan. No, it's Tom Cruise. No, Blade is definitely gonna have. Okay, hold on. Ava Starr, I'll take that. I'll take that. I sounded way too eager there. But yeah, Blade's gonna happen. They have a direction they like. And Mahershala wants they like I'm confident in Blade happening. Mahershala has said that he's happy about it. I think they're gonna do Blade. It's the furthest along of any Marvel movie that isn't like actively in production. Anything else about Blade? They sold the costumes. No Ryan Coogler. Yeah, okay. I think that's enough for the Blade article. That leaves one more article. Hooray. Yeah, like David Corenswet is incredible casting as Superman because I'd only seen him in Pearl before this, so I don't have this pre-established idea of what I expect from him. So I literally just only see Superman. It also helps that now that he's a shaved head, but I only see Superman still. Oh yeah, like celebrity castings work really. I love Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, so I'm not one to talk because I think like celebrity castings can be done well. They have a whole history of being done well. I just think you should strive for an unknown, and if you find someone passionate about the character in the mainstream, go for it. Like John Cena's Peacemaker is incredible, but also John Cena was kind of unknown to the general audience. He was just known as the wrestler at that time. Yeah, this is the longest article. Lower budgets on TV is how it should. What do you mean Supergirl trailer just dropped? Don't say Supergirl trailer just dropped. There's no way. I'm gonna check my phone. I don't see James Gunn tweeting anything. Let's go check discussing film. Nothing. I'm gonna beat you with a hammer. Yeah, like Pedro's read is so good. It's all in the mannerisms, like his facial expressions, the guilt, the uncertainty, the inability to read social cues. He is doing so good as Reed. I cannot wait to see him in a full movie. I have not seen a single Batman fan cast that I like. I don't know if that's a hot take, but like I can't. I need to see them in the cast. I can't, like, people will say Alan Ritchson. People will say other things. I can't see any of these characters, any of these actors as Batman. So, like, I need, the Batman fan casting should be an unknown. Even, like, Pattinson was someone who was so, like, it either has to be an unknown or someone so shocking that I have to buy into it because there must be an inspired vision. Don't do a Hawk Tuah joke right now. What time is it for me? It's 11:35. It's late. I usually stream late because people are asleep and I can yap. But, yeah, I'm shocked there's 106 people here. That's... Hello. Whoa. Hi, everybody. Thank you for making it so I don't have to edit a video. Yeah. The Rock is the worst case scenario of a big-name actor committing to a role because he barely played Black Adam. Then you have someone who commits so hard to a role like Pedro Pascal, and I think that's a great end of the spectrum where it's someone who cares about the character and understands what they're doing. I'm going to tell you all this right now. The Darkness, the video I'm editing, literally editing right before I started streaming this, was about Batman in the DCU. So that'll be out in a few weeks. I'm trying to get ahead of the curve. But yeah, I have a lot of thoughts on that. I don't know, because the Jon Stewart Hawkgirl thing was unique to the JLU, and they're so different. Like, I can't picture Aaron Pierre with Isabella Merced. I don't know how I feel about my name being abbreviated to Mr. Bang. Make a whole video about this. This is your whole video. This is your whole video. In a perfect world, I'd be able to edit all this down, but I don't have that time. The chemistry between Robert and David is, like, they would be incredible. So there's no denying that. But I'm gonna stop talking about the Batman thing now because I have a whole video and I need you to have a reason to come watch it. Okay, Kevin Feige, blah, blah. 5-year plan, 2032. Genuinely good that they have a plan. I hope they stick to it. And I hope they're able to stick to it and there aren't, like, historic actor strikes or pandemics that throw them off the course. Too much stuff. We all agree to that. Experimentation, evolution, great. Need more of that. Well, that's the thing. The Rock genuinely thought Black Adam. You look at how much he pushed Black Adam. You get a Black Adam movie that positions him as the big bad fighting Superman. You get a League of Super Pets movie he makes where he makes Black Adam he teases Black Adam in the post-credit scene. The comics do this big goofy Black Adam push where everybody gets Black Adam powers. He did everything in his power to make Black Adam the face of the DCU, and then did a bad adaptation of Black Adam. Terrible. Top 5 favorite MCU moments? Ooh, I might make a video about that. The Rock is so deluded. He's lost his mind. Yeah, the Hulk. I don't even. Do they say which? I think she's supposed to be playing Shiera, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But, or is it Kendra? I don't know. I don't know if it's. I think it might be Kendra now. I don't know, man. We're not gonna watch the League of Super Pets on stream. I'll get copy strike. Oh God, if there's like, I would love a Daily Planet sitcom. That is one thing I think they need to jump on. I do think it's genuinely very funny that this MCU Kevin Feige stream has just very rapidly spun into dunking on The Rock. I have it no other way, though. Don't say The Rock is Eddie Brock. I guess you can't spell Brock without Rock. Yeah, it seems like it's Kendra, but in the movie, but they're merging the backstories where she's an alien and reincarnated, so that's why I keep getting it mixed up. Literally, just do Daily Planet show with The Office. Get all of them back. David Cornsweet got paid like $700,000 for Superman. You can afford to bring him back as Clark Kent, just have him leave every so often and just see how that works from his perspective. I don't know who Freddie Highmore is, so I can't comment on that. But, like, maybe he's good as Batman. I don't know. Article. Let me lock in. Every time I get caught up, I need to lock in. I like that they're experimenting. MCU should always be experimenting. Never stay complacent. Also, I do like that Feige... I love this line here where Feige says, "You don't know who Mr. Terrific is? Tough." That is the mentality he needs to have, where you introduce the characters in the movie and give them all the context they need. I think that Wally will 100% be the Flash of the DCU. I think that they're going to stay away from Barry forever. Quality, yeah, we talked a bit about this. Thunderbolts we talked about, how that didn't do well. A lot less TV is something we've not talked about. Oh yeah. I think that Barry Allen in the DCU is going to be barely a factor. I think it'll be a thing where he mentors Wally in one movie and then maybe dies in it. I don't see Barry having that much of a role in the DCU. He'll definitely be an older actor. Probably someone in their, like, 30s, maybe mid to late 30s, I think. Who do I think should be the villain of Brave and the Bold? Great question. If they're doing a Bat family, I feel like it kind of has to be multiple people. If it's just Bruce and Damian, that's two people. I'm trying to think of, like, I don't know, like, I want to... I'm trying to think. A lot of the people I would have said Clayface because I love Clayface, but he's doing the Clayface movie, and I don't think they'd spin Clayface into that. Poison Ivy would be cool, but I don't know. Like, I would love Poison Ivy. Mr. Freeze would be cool, but I don't know if, like, I feel like he was borderline someone who could work in the Reeves-verse. Grant Gustin, I don't think they're going to bring Grant Gustin back, as cool as this would be. I think that we get Grant Gustin as Jay Garrick, and that's what he should be doing. I think Flash is 100% getting the Green Lantern treatment. It's Barry's gonna be messy in the DCU because that Flash movie really hurt his brand. Ra's al Ghul was someone I was thinking of too, but I was trying like we've seen the question. I should have phrased the question better because the question specifically said villains who we haven't seen in live action before, so I didn't say Ra's al Ghul. But Ra's al Ghul makes the most sense if you're doing a Damien story. Like Ra's al Ghul, Talia al Ghul, League of Assassins, League of Shadows. I know gun likes are a lot. I'd love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn so much. There's a poster of her directly to the right of me right now. I love her. I don't know if we're ever going to see her again. I feel like they want to introduce a classic Harley Joker status quo. And I don't think we're going to bring Margot back, unfortunately. Is no way Tom Cruise's favorite superhero is Barry. Is that true? Really? Listen, the bar can only go up. We just needed a Flash actor who doesn't terrorize Hawaii. Yeah, like, I'm not the biggest fan of the League of Assassins. I think it's an interesting idea to, like, the main thing I like about the League of Assassins is where they try and make him kill, and he doesn't want to kill, and then he leaves. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of the League of Assassins. So that's why I'm either interested in it in a way where they can reinvent it to make me interested, or just don't do it. The Suicide Squad is, like, barely connected to the DCU. Some of it is canon, like you see one of Amanda Waller's employees is now running Argus in Superman, but he's so hesitant to make the Suicide Squad fully canon. Andrew Garfield is Barry Allen. That would be Andrew Garfield could play most characters. That's the thing. Yeah, with the reboot, like we can't. What do you mean DC League in 15 minutes? With the reboot, they have to play it safe because they can't let the anti-woke grifters think they won if we don't see more of Sam as Captain America, Ironheart, and She-Hulk. Right, like Green Arrow is going to come in and be young. He's going to be this young upstart Green Arrow, and then Hal Jordan's going to be dead probably. Independent force user. I'll go one further. Margot Robbie was like the best thing in, like, maybe DC? I don't know. She carried the DCU. She made me a fan of that character. I adore Margot's Harley so much. Yeah, that's probably what it is. I think they'll probably have Jay Garrick in like the 40s. Then they'll have Barry Allen, who's already been established as the Flash. Oh, Apocalyptic Horseman. Okay, well, we'll stay tuned for that. Yeah, I'm very gullible, is what we're learning from this chat. I'm gonna take a drink of water while I have a second to breathe. There we go. Yes, though. Kevin Feige telling the grifters to shove it is so good. Austin Butler was... No way. Hold on. I need to drop everything and look this up. What? I have no memory of this. I've watched all seasons of Arrow. That's crazy. I think we will see She-Hulk again. I'd be shocked if we didn't. Yeah, I drink water. I drink water more. I only drink water. Peacemaker season 2 I think is going to be really good, which isn't a surprise because it's Peacemaker. I'd be down for a Justice Society TV show. Thoughts on the Snyder trilogy? Oh, I might get crucified if I say my thoughts on the Snyder trilogy. Stop trying to gaslight me into going to check things on my phone. Hello, welcome to your first live here. I'm doing great. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. They should have him punch Guy. He needs to be humbled. Yeah, see, everybody's trying to trick me. I'm not that evil. I'm just a little bit evil. Anything else in the article? I am a little bummed that Thunderbolts won't be mentioned in Born Again because I do want to see Matt in the Void reliving Foggy's death over and over again. Favorite moment in the MCU with Iron Man? Honestly, it might be in Iron Man 3 when he takes out all those people without the armor. I did see James Gunn say Jay Garrick is not on the mural, which is kind of crazy because I thought he was a shoo-in, but if he says so. Superman movie ranking. Ooh. Probably Superman 2025, Christopher Reeve, Superman 1, Superman the Donner Cut, Superman 2, Man of Steel. That's as far as I'll go. I think they reboot Aquaman with a traditional Aquaman, like a traditional take on Aquaman, more like the comics. Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna get a Doomsday teaser. They're gonna run a Doomsday teaser before Avatar for sure. Oh yeah, Thunderbolts does take place after Born. That's fine. Okay, I have not read Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow, but I have a good reason as to why. Because I've heard it's so good that I'm waiting till after the movie comes out because I don't want to give myself astronomical expectations for what I can expect for that film. So I'm trying to hold off as long as I can, but I really want to cave in and watch and read it. If you're curious, the comic books I'm reading lately, I finished All-Star Superman a little bit ago. I read Superman for All Seasons, and now I'm currently on Wonder Woman Historia. After that, I'm probably going to go to Superman Red and Blue, and then I'll probably finish off my Superman reading for now there. And then I'll probably just dive into a bunch of Fantastic Four stuff, because that's what my hyperfixation will be. Yeah, I'm amazed I've avoided Woman of Tomorrow spoilers. Outside of knowing, like, something ominous happens to the dog, that's all I know. But I've heard good things. Yeah, John Bernthal slipping in. Reduction of Marvel. How do I think Daredevil Born Again Season 2 will end? I think it's going to end with a new status quo in Daredevil where Matt is unashamedly Daredevil. He's got like a red suit. He's got the double Ds. I think Fisk is going to be gone. I think they're going to put him in the back burner so they can now do stuff with new villains. I think that Heather is going to be dead. I think that He's going to start a practice with Kirsten. I think they might bring Feige back as a cliffhanger in season 2. To be fair, I don't know. All I know about it's not just you who's told me about crypto in One of Tomorrow. All I know is that something ominous happens because every time I tweet about crypto or I mention crypto and how I don't want anything bad to happen, people are like, "Oh, you're not gonna want to see Woman of Tomorrow." I think we see Watu in First Steps in the background silhouetted. I don't think he makes a cameo in person. I do think you will see him in the background though. Thoughts on the Echo show? I like Echo. I think it's a very solid show. I think it ends way too soon. It's the biggest example of Marvel's format being the Marvel's 6-episode event format being bad because it's 5 episodes, and you could tell they cut it down. My favorite Phase 5 project is without a doubt Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. That movie is like top 3 MCU for me. I, Tanya's great. I love I, Tanya. Margot Robbie's also great. My favorite change in the MCU from the comics? That's a really good question. I always default to... I think it's probably the Mandarin. I really like the Mandarin in Shang-Chi. I think Tony Leung is great casting. I love what they did with the 10 Rings. I think that the Mandarin change is really good. Thoughts on Fantastic Four only being 1 hour and 55 minutes? Fine by me, because that's the same length as The Incredibles. And The Incredibles is as close as you can get to being a masterpiece as possible. So, if that's fine. I love Birds of Prey. That movie is like 1 hour 45. So you can do a good story in a short amount of time. Especially with a character like Galactus, who they're not even really fighting that much. Did New Rockstars really find a watch? That's sick. Thoughts on Moon Knight? I have so many thoughts on Moon Knight. I have a Moon Knight Season 2 pitch sitting in my... I have a Moon Knight Season 2 script written... it's like 5,000 words. I wrote it in May. It's just been sitting in there. I'm going to make that video eventually, but Moon Knight is like he's top 3 characters for me. I'm one of the people who like MCU Moon Knight, fully accepting that he's a flawed adaptation, but every Moon Knight take is very different, so... The self-described nerd, I also planned on making an Iron Man 3 video soon that's just defending that movie, even though the Mandarin twist is definitely the worst part of it, but even defending the Mandarin twist. I do think that the Mandarin Iron Man 3 is very silly. But also, who's going to be here for an Iron Man 3 video in the big 2025? God, Inhumans... Good lord. Inhumans is, whew, that's a tough one. Also, I saw someone say something about Fin Fang Foom. He should be the villain of Shang-Chi too. James Gunn needs to do live. There's so many great Plastic Man castings out there that I'm shocked they haven't done it yet. Listen, Iron Man 3 is 100% the best Iron Man movie. I will die on that hill. And I'll probably still end up making that video eventually. So, I made the thumbnail for it already. So yes, Iron Man 3 video will happen. It's just there's so many videos I get sidetracked. Like, I already have 3 videos for August planned out. Maybe even a 4th one if I can stretch, if, like, nothing big happens. So, like, my schedule is ever evolving. That's why I'm not making video on this article right here. Because I have so many things to talk about that I just have to stream talk about this. Okay. Here's Kevin Feige being based as hell, talking about how Marvel is the world outside your window and woke is stupid. No, anti woke is stupid. That don't clip that. I could have phrased that so much better. In how people who have co-opted the word woke and tried to make it this bad thing are stupid. God, my career is over. And yes, Iman Vellani is the best casting in MCU history. Oh God, the plane scene in Iron Man 3 is so good. Will we gamble at the end of this stream? I don't know. Last time I tried to gamble, there was no audio and I broke everything. And it's almost midnight, and I planned on this stream to be 1 hour long. So probably no gambling this time, just because I have a lot of stuff to do and I still do want to go on that walk. Oh, okay. Here we go. Here we go. The chat's starting to catch up with me, and now I'm getting canceled. It's been a good run, everybody. It's been a good run. Look, you can tell he wants to confirm Young Avengers so bad. Oh, he wants to confirm it so bad. And he should, because I want Young Avengers more than anything. It's been years. Just confirm Young Avengers already, man. I don't know what we're doing here. Top 3 movie YouTubers. I feel like I barely watch enough YouTubers. Like, Mr. Sunday Movies is my GOAT. He's my favorite YouTuber of all time. You could probably see his influence. I'm referencing him in the next video, for Christ's sake. Yes, I love that dog hypnosis gif. Mr. Sunday Movies is great. Nando V Movies is great. I can't pick a third right now. Maybe Chris Stuckman, honestly. I love Chris Stuckman. He's like my favorite film critic. I love the way he approaches things with positivity. You can do such a great meta narrative with Mojo with Mojo World. I would love to see a Mojo World movie. That could honestly be an X-Men film right there. Top 3 comic writers. Oh God, I'm gonna be boring though. Like I'll be like Hickman, Morrison. Jed MacKay is probably the most controversial take on there, but I love everything Jed MacKay writes. I met Jed MacKay, fun fact. I have an autographed Moon Knight comic from Jed MacKay that I got at New York Comic Con. He's really cool. Thoughts on killing baby Joey? Do it with hammers. Positivity is greater. I totally agree. Just ignore what I previously said. Would I ever make an that would be a genuinely really interesting video idea. Maybe I would just do that as like one contained video. Where I would just do like the early 2000s Marvel retrospective, or like a video series. Zdarsky, it's probably Zdarsky over. Well, the thing, I've not read enough of. I've read a lot of MacKay. I've only read Zdarsky's hits. You know what I mean? Like, I've not read nearly enough of Zdarsky. I've read all of Zdarsky's Daredevil. I'm reading his Captain America right now. I need to read more Zdarsky before I can put him on that pedestal. Worst casting in comic book movie history is a great question, though. Because it honestly might be... It might be The Rock as Black Adam. Not only is he the wrong ethnicity, he doesn't look like Black Adam anymore. He's not a good actor. It's a mess all around. My least favorite Marvel movie is my least favorite movie of all time. That being Four Stick 2015. As a diehard Fantastic Four fan, that movie pisses me off. I've watched it once, I'll never watch it again. Jared Leto Joker's a great shout because Jared Leto sucks. We talked a bit about that. Talked a bit about that. I don't care about filming locations. Film closer to me so I can go to the set. Ezra Miller's Flash is very. Jared Leto did play more. Why is Jared Leto getting so many superhero roles? Why is Jared Leto getting any roles? Oh, you saw Fantastic on your birthday? You should get financial reimbursement for that. Yeah, Joker 2 is not great. RDJ is okay. Listen, I didn't include him because we haven't seen him yet, but RDJ's Doom is not. It's not good. Anya Taylor-Joy was great as Magic. It's a shame they made her racist for no reason, because that is incredible casting, and maybe like the only X-Men universe casting I'd be okay with them bringing back besides Laura as Wolverine. Here we go. Here's where we get to the Moon Knight section. We talked a bit about Kang earlier. Here we go. Here's the Moon Knight, where he says he doesn't know of any specific ones you just mentioned, but yes, it is part of the plan. So, Moon Knight or the Eternals, very targeted towards me. I love Moon Knight and the Eternals, and he says, I don't know if that's part of the plan. Like, they're going to pop up again, but they're not part of the current plan, which is sad, because I think that Moon Knight, you need to do more with Moon Knight. You have to resolve that Eternals cliffhanger. Just please give me what I want. Yeah, Jared Leto's an instant mood killer. Thank you. I appreciate a niche compliment and not a scathing insult that you usually throw my way. But I try my best to break down articles because yes, I did study journalism, so I have an idea of how to do this sort of thing. A Jimmy Olsen crime anthology series. All right, listen, I'll be here for it. Yeah, we're 90 minutes in. Oh God, listen, this is the last article, so after that, after that, it's okay. But Jesus, I'm looking up the Jimmy Olsen thing now. A Jimmy Olsen series, crime anthology. Okay, listen, I'd be here for that. There was that Polaris. I think Polaris is in X-Men 97 season 2. I saw somewhere, so maybe that, but I don't know. It's not a fancy writing degree. It's very basic. Hold on, I need to take another drink of water. I'm not used to talking this much. What director do I want in the DCU? Rian Johnson. Rian Johnson is my favorite director. Eyeballs. They honestly could just so easily could what they should do is that they make an Avengers movie in the next saga that's just Avengers Judgment Day. It's a small scale Avengers film with the Avengers and the Eternals crossing over. Enough with the Chris Pratt. He can't keep getting away with this. Please, it's Chris Pratt we're talking about, guys. James Gunn is the only actor who's been able to get a more than comedic performance out of Chris Pratt, and this is coming from someone who has watched Parks and Rec 3 times. I can't wait for Wake Up Dead Man. Listen, it's very it's like a typecasting type thing, but a Rian Johnson question series would be incredible. I know Rian Johnson has talked about wanting to do a Batman movie before, and it's like, oh, don't tease me with that, Ryan. Did he actually say that about Pratt? A hear me out never is followed up by a good response. He plays the okay, that's enough of that. The Fantastic Four has genuinely had good casts. That the casting has never been an issue. It's the new one is the best by a landslide, especially because they have a Jewish actor playing the Thing. But the Doctor Dooms have always been miscast. But like, even the '90s one, everybody was so passionate about that. Then the 2005 one is obviously an iconic cast. The 2015 one has a really great lineup of talented actors that are utterly wasted. And now we get to the modern day Fantastic Four cast, and they are incredible. I've not seen The Electric State. I've not heard good things, though. Like, a Jonah Hex movie with Walton Goggins just makes sense. That's one of those things where it's like, yeah, now I kind of need that. Hello, Spy always wins. I don't want Zachary Levi back. He was really good in the first Shazam movie, and then completely leaving out. How dare you let Fantastic Four hype be killed? Like, leaving out how much of a weirdo Levi turned out. He has such a bad performance in that second movie. It's very funny to think about how Walton Goggins was in the MCU, and we still haven't found out who his mysterious buyer was. Miles Teller as the Maker is casting that needs to happen. Good night, Jackal. I'll still be streaming when you wake up at this rate. Top 5 Star Wars movies. If I said that, you'd all kill me. You'd hang me and kill me. I can't. Why did Marvel? Oh, they're okay. I can't give Star Wars takes. The Star Wars fandom scares me. Don't forget William Jackson Harper as an Ant-Man movie casting that was wasted. Why would you put yourself through The Electric State in the first place is what I want to know. Okay, no more Superman spoilers from here on out. Mr. Pangolin has not seen it. I loved it though. Watch my review. I have a 27-minute non-spoiler section in that review. Yeah, Bill Murray's in the MCU. He's just there. The 2015 Fantastic Four cast, I think with good material, would have really shown out. But the only one I want to see back is Miles Teller as the Maker, if they ever would do such a thing. David Dastmalchian really should come back. Best and worst X-Men movie, not including Logan or Deadpool. Ooh. Best, I would say then, is probably First Class. I would say First Class. And the worst is, X-Men Origins Wolverine. It's not good. Yeah, Bill Murray's not a great person. From what I've heard, he's not the best. But I don't know. I didn't know enough specifics to mention anything. The Ant-Man trilogy is... Listen, I like 2 of the Ant-Man movies. There's still a lot going on there. Is there anything else in this article I need to talk about? Besides the fact that they're stealing Moon Knight and the Eternals from me. Just gassing up Fantastic Four, which is valid. Also, genuinely really cool to learn that Kevin Feige watches a classic 30s to 40s noir thriller every night. Like, this guy is a film buff through and through. Good lord. Good for him. Listen, I would just be happy for any Nova project at this point. No more Galactus Cloud. We have to kill Fart Cloud Galactus. Guys, we finished the article. Oh my goodness. Look at that. That's cool. Hold on, let me switch over to the just chatting screen. Oh, Unstoppable. I've heard good things about the Unstoppable Wasp. I've heard a lot of good things about Unstoppable Wasp. As I now wait for my chat to refresh because I'm a bozo who doesn't know how to program this. Well, I didn't see this question from earlier. Who should direct DCU Teen Titans? I honestly don't know. I don't know who's good with child actors, but someone who's good with child actors. Here we go. We're back. I'm so bad at watching classic movies, so that's why I have to respect him. Thoughts on Tom King? War criminal? Simple. Just to put it simply and factually. I've not read anything he's written, so I just only know him as that. Allegedly. Don't sue me. I think that after Secret Wars, we're going to see cosmic. We're going to see three distinct parts of the MCU being cosmic, supernatural, and ground and street level. Those are going to be the main three we see developed. Duffer Brothers is a great choice. David F. Sandberg's a really underrated choice. He's a great director, and I would love to see him work with something better than the Shazam movie. Shazam 2 specifically. Thoughts on Tom King writing Wonder Woman? No, thank you. Please, no. I'm begging you, no. Oh, look up James. You look up. Just look up Tom King. I promise you, there's a lot to go to break it down. Allegedly. I would listen. I think that as a whole, they should be making new themes for characters. I think Superman is an exception because this movie is basically like a celebration of the Superman character, and you have to use that kind of theme when you're rebooting Superman. And they also gave him his own theme, so it makes sense. But like, don't bring back the Danny Elfman Batman theme anymore. I would love an orchestral version of the Teen Titans theme. I think that would go hard. I did hear that Vision Quest finished filming, which is really impressive because they only dropped like 4 set photos, and they were all the most random things. It was just like a street signs. Supernatural MCU is gonna be, yeah. I'm really excited for Supernatural MCU, Midnight Suns, like that's gonna be my jam. If I can get one MCU project greenlit right now, it's Midnight Suns. Oh, Mary Marvel. What's her name? Oh God, hold on. You hear me typing. Grace Caroline Curry. Yeah, she's a good actress. Adam West Batman theme. I mean, it's a good theme. The thing is, Tarantino has given himself this strict 10 movie deadline, so He's never gonna sit down to make a comic book movie, which sucks. Because he said, "Yeah, I'm only doing 10 movies," and we just had to live with that. Mole Man will be in the Fantastic Four movie. I'm really excited to see him. Top three Spider-Man movies. I mean, it's gonna be boring because it's gonna be like Across the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse, No Way Home. Yet I don't know why Tarantino said 10 movies and he's done. I really don't understand it because like why? Just make more movies, dude. He's also counting both Kill Bill movies as one movie, so like you technically already have made 10. You're already breaking it. Can I play Marvel Rival? I do need to do a Marvel Rivals stream again soon, just because technically a Marvel Rivals partner, and I have not streamed it in a while. They're gonna yell at me again. So yeah, that's honestly hilarious that the Doomsday set was actually the Vision Quest set. I'm glad that you specified besides Sam as Captain America because I would have jumped on him immediately. But besides that, it's Kate Bishop. You should all know that I'm a massive Kate Bishop fan. I need to push that agenda more. I did read the First Steps prequel comic. I loved it. It gets a mention in the newest video if you go watch that. Where's Justin Hammer? I ask myself that every single night. He should be in Armor Wars. Alright, I've been streaming for 1 hour, 48 minutes, so I know that's a lot shorter than usual, but I'm going to try and wind it down soon. So get in your final questions. This is your little warning, just because it is 12:19 in the morning. I do still want to try and do some stuff yet. I might stream again later in the week though, because Fantastic Four is on Thursday, so I'm gonna have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of just like editing videos, trying to get ahead, writing scripts. So maybe I'll try and squeeze another stream in, but I love Haley Steinfeld, and I also love Haley Steinfeld as Kate Bishop. So I'm so happy to see more of her. I need to see her all the time. There was a set photo of Madripoor that somebody got, and they're like, "Oh, I snuck onto the Doomsday set," but it was actually Vision Quest. Destin Daniel Cretton I love Destin Daniel Cretton. He's never made a bad movie, so I love to see that he's being so inspired by the comics. Punisher set picks were great. I'm glad that he has the trench coat on. Listen, I genuinely will read Unbelievable Gwenpool eventually. I think I'm good with 3 times on Superman. I could absolutely go watch it again tomorrow, but I want to. Fantastic Four comes out this week, and I'm probably going to see Fantastic Four 2 to 3 times in theaters, definitely at least 2, and then I'm also going to buy the Herbie popcorn bucket, the Galactus popcorn. So I need to save some money, you know what I mean? Pick one casting to carry over to the new MCU. Iman Vellani as Ms. Marvel. Sam Wilson as my best friend or Kate Bishop as my wife. What? Why? Why do you do this to me? The answer is Kate Bishop as my wife, because I'm a very weak man. But like, you didn't have to do that to me. It's not the most interesting set leak, so you're not missing much. Favorite auteur director? That's a good question. Is it cheating to say Nolan because I do love Nolan. What's my job outside of YouTube? I don't know if I'm gonna. I'll tell you all when I hopefully quit it, just because I don't know if I should say it. I don't know if they'll get mad at me if they ever find this. Listen, if I love Fantastic Four, and I can afford it, I will see it 4 times in theaters for the bit. One casting to carry over for the Snyderverse, Margot Robbie is Harley Quinn, for sure. Iman Vellani, like, they need to go ahead with Young Avengers for more stuff with her. She's so good. I'm glad that she's going to be in, like, a horror movie soon, which is really cool. I'm glad that she's taking bookings outside of the MCU, because she breathes so much life into everything that she does. Okay, I need to end the stream before you all start roasting me. I don't like being roasted like this. I'm honest. Yeah, exactly. They call me Honest Abe. I'm also Abraham Lincoln. Thank you all for showing up. There was like almost 100 There was 100 concurrent viewers for the majority of this stream, which is crazy to think about because like this is unannounced. It's so late at night, and there's so many of you here. So thank you, genuinely. I really appreciate that. It means a lot. Favorite member of the Fantastic Four is The Thing. Honestly, like Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur are like I genuinely don't know how you introduce them into the MCU without just doing a Moon Girl Devil Dinosaur show. Recast one person in the MCU, Doctor Doom. Teehee. And I don't want Andy Muschietti to direct Brave and the Bold, but I don't also have a director in mind who would want to take over. Besides like Matt Reeves, but like maybe Rian Johnson if he still wants a Batman job. Can I put a poll for favorite Fantastic Four member? I don't know how to do a poll. How do I do I can't do a poll. Hold on. Can I do a poll from my phone? I can't do a poll from my phone. Oh well. Oh yeah, there's your Welcome back, James Popcorn. Sorry I ruined Tom King for you. Allegedly. I can't explain it on stream because they'll have me shot. If you join the Discord, we can talk about it all in the Discord. I do love that everybody has a different like Fantastic Four member. There's so much variety of it. Like mine's The Thing. So many people are saying Sue and Johnny. Thank you for stepping in, independent Force user. I really appreciate you being here. It's not often I stream nowadays. It used to be like once a week. Then July's been so busy. It's been so long. But I really wanted to talk about these articles because there's so many interesting tidbits that they mentioned about the MCU. Yeah, like Reed is great. There's so much variety between the Fantastic Four are the best developed superhero team of all time. Seeing all the reactions to Tom King is very funny. Herbie, like there we go. Now we got someone who speaks real. You gotta love Herbie. I definitely think that Matt Reeves will probably only do a Batman trilogy. I definitely think he's gonna direct it though. Thank you, Max. I love you too. Okay. This is probably a good time to wrap things up then. So I will thank everybody for coming out tonight for almost 2 hours. Thank you for staying for the stream. I'm sorry if I missed any chat messages earlier. It was very hectic, and I don't have this set up as perfectly as it should be, but I hope you all had a fun time tonight. I hope that I can do this again later on in the week. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about. Next video will be the Fantastic Four review, which I'm really looking forward to watching and then talking about. So you'll get updates on that soon enough. Video after that will be a Batman Superman video, which is very fun. I'm really proud of that video. I think it's a lot of interesting pitches in there. But thank you all for hanging out with me and giving me excuse not to edit. Genuinely really appreciate that. But I hope you all have a great night. I still don't have an outro. I think that I'll never get an outro just out of spite. But thank you everybody for being here and for 20,000 subscribers. I probably should thank you again for that, because that's surreal to me. Like that's a stadium of people who want to hear me yap about people in tights. There's no world where that should be right. But it means more to me than you will ever know. So thank you all for supporting me and being here to listen to me and helping me do all these things and live this incredible fantasy in real life. So seriously, thank you all. No, I don't have an outro. More bang for my buck. We'll find out an outro eventually. I just ramble on for way too long and then just hit the end screen button. So I'm gonna do that now. Thank you. Good night, everybody. Good morning, depending on your time zone. Hope you take care. Next time I'll see you, we'll be talking about Fantastic Four. So really exciting. But until then, goodbye. Bye everybody. Bye. I'm waving. You can't see me waving, but I'm waving. Goodbye.